Salford's got a sort of good history of football in terms of sort of the clubs in the area. You've got United round the corner at the Cliff, and some of the bigger community clubs, and a lot of clubs own their own facilities, which is always a benefit. But in terms of, Salford's a good footballing borough, but there are others like Manchester and Trafford that are also equally as good with us. But I think Greater Manchester as a whole is really keen on football.
Greater Manchester is indeed a footballing hotbed, but is there enough money going into the sport at grassroots level? Clubs and leagues are struggling to survive, and people who want to become qualified coaches are having to fund it themselves. Mike Tewson has recently taken his FA Level 1, but cannot afford to take the next step on the coaching ladder.
The first one, the youth module and the traditional Level 1 are both about 150 quid, but then the Level 2 for the traditional route is 350. So obviously, for myself being a student, it's a lot of money.
So, do you think there should be funding in place, especially for younger people to get involved in coaching?
Yeah, definitely. Even some kind of supplement or anything just to get you going, because it would put me off. I haven't done my Level 2 because I can't afford it, even though I'd love to do it.
Facilities are also an issue for footballers at grassroots, with 84% involved at that level saying that poor facilities was their main concern. With the Premier League set for another rise in income next season, when their TV rights are set to top £5 billion, should they be doing more to help? Many people think so, and nearly 6,000 have signed a petition to get the Premier League to donate 7.5% to grassroots football. It currently donates less than 1% to the Football Foundation. At grassroots level there is a shortage of coaches, and this is hindering the development of young footballers. The rising funding could subsidise the training of many aspiring coaches, as well as improving facilities.
I think there's a massive shortage of coaches. I've been doing it about 2 years. I started out when my boy was 4, and I went down and they were struggling for coaches. They had 2 lads who was about 16, and they was taking the mickey out of the little ones a bit, kicking the ball away, and so I just decided that it's something I'd like to get involved in. So I went and did the course myself, funded it myself, and then approached the club.
Many also believe that football has suffered in schools, which helped to produce players for grassroots clubs as well as higher levels.
I think it probably goes back to grassroots and schools. As far as I'm aware, that every year of my secondary school had a football team, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. They used to rely on teachers looking after the football teams. Now, whether that's not politically correct nowadays, whether they don't get paid enough to do it or they just choose not to do it, I do not know that. But I believe that that's the grassroots level that's being neglected.
But there is some good news for football in schools after the government awarded primary schools in England £150 million a year for the next 2 years to pay for extra coaching. Whether the Premier League and the FA follow suit by increasing funding to football remains to be seen. But one thing that is certain is that at grassroots level, the national game needs support.